Wednesday tomorrow.
Shopkeeper
And his son.
I had to beat him to death with their own shiz.
Ozzy wouldn't go on stage.
Oh, Ozzy wouldn't go on stage. Where you going?
Ready to roll?
She's rolling back.
Go for it. Awesome.
Rolling.
What?
That's the new intro.
Oh, can you imagine that was
One
her?
thing I forgot to do was put this mic facing this way, but I'm sure it'll be alright.
I'm sure you'd be managing alright.
The camera will go shaky for a minute, but you chat about it.
Well, it's just like
It's the way we operate on it.
couldn't be any worse than the already setup. It's what time are we started at? It's 7 minutes to 10. We have been trying to get this up and running for
6 o'clock?
no, not from well, I've been here since 6. You got here at what, 7:30? Let's say we started faffing about at 8. So as Paul pointed out earlier on, there's children, literal children, that can YouTube and set up their stuff quicker and better than we could here. We're 3 mid-30-year-old grown-ups, and I know at least 2 of
I've seen them videos like where there is children, like, and they are.
yeah, they're
Oh,
on
yeah.
point, man. Yeah.
To be honest, this is shameful.
It is. But then a lot of those kids in our defense are just fucking recording on their laptop straight away and just booting it straight onto YouTube. Like we're actually, we have a microphone.
Yeah, we've
A microphone.
we've made it more complicated. It'd be easier if we just sat at the desk around the iMac and just let the webcam
Yeah.
record
True.
everything. Yeah, it would be much easier.
It's probably partly my fault. Just landed over with so many things and
You have too many toys to play with, but it's all good.
confuses.
It wasn't.
Confucius.com.
Well, this is a necessity until the actual podcast
Yeah.
is going. So it's on
Exactly.
YouTube before it's a podcast.
So that's,
Even though it's a podcast more than anything else.
that's very true.
Make sense of that if you can. Right now, if there's no Pixie phone now, it's
Oh, what do you
back on the big stuff?
what is it?
what are you on an Android?
It's a Note 8.
Samsung.
Galaxy Note 8.
It's just not an Android. An iPhone.
Do you have a stylus?
Huh?
Do you have a stylus?
I do, yeah.
Do you use it?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you use it for?
Drawing wee pictures and stuff.
Drawing little dicks on stuff.
Not important.
Thinking of the Clive and just drawing dicks on everything back in the day. What was it he found a picture of? Was it a squirrel or like or something? Do you remember when he moved into that house? There was like he found a picture in like the
He
cupboard.
had a framed picture of
Yeah,
a squirrel
it
in
was
his
a
underwear
yeah.
drawer.
He thought it was
Who is it?
Clive.
Oh, Clay.
Do you not remember that?
No.
Do you not remember, like, for at least a month, we went to Clive's house once a week and trashed his room because Animal and Dean lived with him?
I
And
know.
no, in Belfast.
Oh,
Do you not remember this?
Dude, I don't remember much from back then.
Right. Like, the one time that I remember more than any other one was after... Where did we get all the porn? Because we had did we bring it back from the States whenever we done the road trip?
I don't know. We had
Because I think we did, for whatever reason. Yeah, side note was every time I went to the States, and me and Luke and a couple of our mates, different dudes, would always go and do like a road trip somewhere, even if it was only like a day away. But whenever you're driving, you know yourself, man. You're going along the highway and you've been on the road for like fucking hours, and all of a sudden there's this sign for this porn superstore or adult superstore. So we're just like, fuck it, let's go. So me and Luke and the boys got into the habit of buying just a bunch of pornography just to read in the car. You go in and you buy like packs of fucking titty bags that would just come in like a multi-pack. It would be like 10 magazines for like $20, and like the best one would be at the front, and it would be like, fucking Hustler or something like that. And then it would get like, you'd have like mid-40s MILFs or something. It'd be like old bitches, a magazine of old bitches in it, or like fucking trannies in it and shit like that, because it was like a thing you couldn't tell what was in it. But
it's just cheaper to do that than to pulp. It's cheaper to give them away for like $1 than to pulp them.
So we used to always just buy a fucking bunch of porn, man. I can't remember why we got into the habit of doing it. And like We done it whenever we went to Vegas.
I remember at the rest stop, we pulled in and Tony was sleeping, so we left him in the car and surrounded them by pornography. Had it lying everywhere all around the car. So if people were walking past, they just saw him lying there, sprawled with pornography
with
everywhere.
The dreads and everything, man.
Yeah, there is photographs of that somewhere. Yeah, but they were probably whoever was developing them probably censored them because they were full of like porn.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was close-ups of him lying there, surrounded by pictures.
So yeah, we had a bunch of porn, and we must have just because we probably couldn't throw it all away, just because there's that much.
I had to bring it home.
Yeah,
I had to put it in my suitcase and bring it home. So if I was searched at the airport, I literally had everything. It was like 20 magazines. Like it made me look. I would have looked mental.
like an absolute pervert.
Plus, yeah, what some of them were. Yeah,
but we took them home anyway, and Animal and Dean and Clive were living in that house. Do you remember together? Do you not remember this?
I think it was down by.
It was off the Ormo Road.
Actually,
it was off the Ormo Road, I think.
Yeah.
But Clive and Dean would always go home at the weekend because they would only stay up in Belfast for like fucking part time. Yeah, weekenders. Yeah, and then fucking Animal was working at the centre that time.
Oh yeah.
So he used to stay up, and we used to go over to fucking Clive's house and wreck his fucking room. There was one time we took all that porn and just put it everywhere in his room, man. And I mean everywhere. Like in his school books, in all his drawers, in his bed. Like he says he was finding porn in that house for months. Like just random places. Just like fucking some picture of a tranny would fall out of his school book or something like that.
That's right. I used to sign Screwball up to those like magazine things.
That's right.
To write.
That's right.
Like these online or not online, like but before whatever Adam and Eve type stores where you get like catalogs. So I would just sign Screwball up to them constantly so we would get them coming to the house in Screwball's name.
That's right. You didn't get like a free gift. Wasn't one of them come with a thong or something like that?
So,
yeah. I remember him showing it. Like he never like put it on or anything, but I remember him being like, "Look at look what came with the mailing thing." Yeah. Oh man. Should we made the midget step? Do you remember for Clive that time as well? Whenever I don't know if the girl was a midget, but she was very short that Clive slept with. Like it was. So we like built a cardboard set of steps and put them up next to his bed. So whenever he came up to Belfast for the weekend, after that he seen there was a midget step there.
Oh, that's fucking gross, awfully.
Oh man.
For that year.
Yeah, God knows. Clive's done far worse than that, I'm sure. Oh yeah,
he's on the far side of the world now. So
he's in New Zealand. Yeah, last time I heard he was in New Zealand with a kid.
Fuck.
I mean, should you remember that girl that Aoife used to be friends with? Fuck, what's that?
Jacinta?
No, not her. One of the girls Aoife used to be friends with that used to live with her whenever she was living up in Belfast.
Oh, right.
No, it wasn't your mate Mossy.
Mossy?
Definitely not.
Remember Mossy? Good.
Paul and her used to be best friends.
All right.
But Clive's not married. He might be married to her, but Clive's definitely got a kid with some of those.
He's in New Zealand.
Yeah, one of those girls that he used to be friends with. Pat. That's her fucking name. That chick, Pat.
I remember their house now, actually. So it must have been all one of them.
Mm-hmm. Whenever Fuzz, whenever like Fuzz was living there, and that, what do you call that other? There was it Michelle and Jacinta, and
yeah.
Whatever amount of them, man.
That was off the fucking Botanic Street.
Yeah, because it was only a stone's throw from us whenever we were on the Cromwell Road.
That's right.
Cromwell represent.
Fuck me, man, we wrecked that house.
Hellblazer. People know that.
Fucking
Everyone
right.
knows Hellblazer.
I remember ramps in the living room.
Yeah.
I like that Patty thought our house was like an art installation.
Modern art project.
He was too afraid to ask like what the fuck is going on here. Like the whole house is destroyed. There's nothing. There's no couches. The kitchen table's half sawn in half with a saw sticking in it.
That's like Tom Green fucking his shoulder.
The coffee table was split in 2
Mhm.
and turned into ramps for BMXs.
There was a door. G's old door was kicked off its hinges.
Yeah.
Sorry, it fell.
We had a
it was
tree more or less growing in the bath downstairs. It was like
Dude.
fucking.
even my old man, whenever he either brought me or you up the road one day, or else it was me and Tony, and he was dying to go to the toilet. We went into that house and he took a piss in that downstairs bathroom because obviously he was the only one that was working. And he said to me later on, he's like, I have lived in some bad places, but he's like, that is the worst place that I have. He's like, I honestly can't believe you fucking lived there. Like, it's bad when my old man said that to me, because my old man would fucking, he wouldn't be something that he would say lightly.
We had no heat.
No.
Didn't pay rent
For a year.
There was times where there was no electric and it was.
No, man, because Bob done the thing with the, I don't know how it worked, man, but
are you going to admit to Bob committing an
I don't
illegal
know,
act?
he done the thing. That's what I said. Bob done the thing. So, you know, I don't know.
We haven't given the exact address.
I don't know what happened with that, but I never put a pound of electricity in that place. I don't know whether we had a top-up card or whether a bill came to that house, but man, we all lived in there for near enough a full year, and I never paid more than a month or two's rent at the
That
very
was the
start.
other thing. Like,
Yeah.
There's a couple of times there's a couple of years that happened. But we just fucking left.
But you remember, there was no heating in the place, so we all bought those heaters, and we just used to have them running in our rooms flat out. There was 2 or 3 of them actually went on fire.
Yeah.
Yours burnt. I know for a fact yours went on fire, and then I think Tony's went on fire, and then we were down to 1, and then it went on fire too, because it was just never off.
It was sitting on top of your bed. And you
It
were
started
way
to
home. I was playing your PlayStation. And I had it right beside me going. And it just went up in flames. I was like, holy fuck. I was worried about your bed catching fire because the flames were all going around the bed sheets. And I was like, fuck, I have to buy Ryan another heater.
So
yeah, I got you like another heater.
They were all like, yeah, we all got them at all.
There's a reason they're not on fire.
Yeah.
There's
definitely a reason they all went on fire.
Yeah. And then the room from hell.
Oh, the Prog's room?
The housemate
Oh.
and roommate from hell.
So like fucking whiskey or something? Like a huge
Oh yeah, he got
Yeah,
from
it was
a
like
bar.
Bushmills or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, it was Bushmills, alright.
Well, no
Bob will
way
get
it was
that.
any other.
Yeah.
No way it was any other type of whiskey.
Bob will get that alright.
Oh,
And then he had the red bulb.
yeah. Do you remember he had that red bulb?
Just if it wasn't weird
As
enough.
if it wasn't just like that was.
It's less terrifying watching the opening credits to 7 than it is going into that room of his. Because the smell of the way 7, they have all the fucking odor eaters hanging down. There's none of that
No.
in fucking Prog's room.
Like you could smell his room as soon as the door was open.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
You used to work out in it with him and say, oh, it's alright, it doesn't smell.
I mean, what was the front room beside? There was breakdancing.
That was it was downstairs whenever you first came in. Whenever you came in the door and you first came in the hall, his room was on the left-hand side there. And then there was the fucking demolished living room. And then there was the kitchen. And then there was the shitty bathroom down at the very end at the bottom. Then we went upstairs and straight up in front of the stairs was my room. Then there was the bathroom that only the shower worked in because the toilet was fucked. Do you remember? It never worked from day one. And then
How you remember that?
there was a little bit of a landing. Then there was Prog's room. Then there was G's room at facing the street. And then you went up the stairs and it was you on the right and Mahoney on the straight ahead.
Car cracks.
Oh man, I could tell you the fucking layout of
Oh,
every house that I've ever lived in. Like I could walk you through a floor plan of every single place that I've ever lived in.
It's the biggest bedroom I've ever had and the worst. Because like I had slugs.
Slugs.
Yeah. I used to wake up in the morning and be like slug trails. But I never saw one. Never.
They used to would only come out at night, man. Sure, it's the same in that
but
place.
like I
That
would put salt out
Yeah.
and yeah, it didn't make a difference. It was just slugs
These
everywhere.
boys were hardened to it, like.
But then he's like, I'm
Rotten.
putting salt on my fucking bedroom carpet. Like, what does that say?
it's not like we hoovered the place.
No.
Was there even a hoover
We
in
never
there?
had fucking.
Was there? I don't think there was. I think we might have had a handheld. No, we didn't.
Who the fuck would have thought that?
I think maybe my mom might have given me a wee handheld one, or maybe she got rid of one that I
You
might
did
have
actually.
used.
You had a handheld one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like my ma got rid. She had one of those wee handheld dustbuster things, and then she got a new one and gave me that, because I think that was the only fucking Hoover that we had.
Yeah. Actually, I do remember that now.
Could you imagine?
I used to have where my bed used to be, where the pillow was. You tried to kick a hole in the wall from the other side, the hallway into it. Were right where my head was, so I had to move my bed to another section of the room. And then I had the couch in there. Yeah, pretty much moved the sitting room into my bedroom. So
That's
I had
right,
like
you
a
had
couch, and you had the sitting room chairs.
That's right. You had the sofa up along the window.
Whenever you say you hate people having chairs in the bedroom, you had 2 fucking sofa chairs.
It wasn't
in
by
your fucking
choice.
room,
Like
yeah.
it was my room
The
became
smallest room in the house.
became the living room by default, just
That's
because it had the TV
No,
and the
actually, your room was
PlayStation.
probably smaller because you had the weird angle.
I had a hipped roof. Yeah.
It was just a weird place, a weird time.
G probably had the best room out of the lot of us.
I can't fucking name.
Yeah.
His was the biggest one, man. But then he used to give off that you and Tony would be doing stuff in Tony's room, and the plaster would be falling off the roof onto his bed and stuff.
That's right.
So for badness, you used to do it even more. Like,
Plus, it was right beside Bob.
yeah, because he bitched and complained, and he wanted that room because it was the biggest, and he would be able to do his art and have space to do whatever. You know,
Do his b-boying.
do his b-boying, do his b-boying.
That lasted long, yeah.
That did, didn't it?
Fucking b-boy.
B-boy.
He does look very much the same. Like, he's not really...
Have you seen him?
Where was it I saw him? I saw him probably Tony's wedding was maybe the last time.
Yeah.
But he looks much the same.
Whose wedding did I drive down to? The fucking... Where I
Yeah.
seen him at, man. Like, because you
It
were
wasn't
there.
at Gavin's wedding.
No, because at Tony's wedding, I stayed. Oh no! At Gavin's wedding, no. I think. I wasn't drinking at your wedding. I drove.
Mm.
Because me and you drove up back and forth the same day. Because Michelle.
I'm pretty sure I was drinking.
Yeah,
Not
you
sure.
were drinking, but I wasn't. I drove. Because I was definitely smashed at Tony's wedding because I forgot that I hadn't got a place to stay. And you and Michelle were in like an Airbnb up the road.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I was gonna pay Fuzzy Gormley. He had got a room and his had 2 double beds in it, and I was gonna split the cost with him. And then whenever I went back to the room later on that night, after I was all done drinking and everything, later on, him, G's missus, and maybe Bob, and at least 3 or 4 of them all came back and all slept in the other bed, and G wasn't gonna give him any money for that, and I just got up and left, man. Number one, if one of them even had dared get into the bed beside me, I would have fucking battered them. And then number 2, I didn't give Fuzzy a fucking penny because I was like, I'm not paying half of a room and letting him, sleep there on principle. I was like, that's against my core on every level. Like, I refuse to. Plus, Fuzzy Gormley owes me big time. Do you remember the time we came up to Belfast on a Sunday evening and fucking he was smashing some girl in my room because G had given him the keys to the house, and he went in and was bucking her in my bed instead of anybody else's because, again, I had a TV in there.
Can you remember the time we were broken into in like Carmel Street?
All my shit got stole.
Yeah. And funnily enough, they left my CD player. It was that bad. They fucking left it. I had like a boombox, and they left that shit. They didn't take it.
Stole my PlayStation and
and
all
your
my
TV.
games.
No, did they leave
No,
your
they
TV?
didn't steal the TV.
It's just the PlayStation.
Stole
and
the
games.
PlayStation and the games and something else as well.
But like we filed the police report. We remember we walked to the police station.
Was I there?
Yeah.
Do you know how?
I didn't trust you
Sure.
or Tony to speak, so I was like, the two of you stay quiet and I'll do all the talking.
We didn't even know that yous got broken into. Your sister went up to stay in the house because her and Finn were in Belfast, and this was back in the day. And whenever she went around to the house, she was like, the door's been kicked in and your shit's gone.
Actually, fucking can't even remember that either.
How disappointing for whoever broke in there.
Yeah.
Like really, like
No.
yeah, there wasn't a lot of shit to take. My guitar was still there. We never took my guitar. The same was a piece of shit.
Still
100
guitar.
and- 120 quid guitar left.
I'll buy you a good guitar even today.
120 quid, no. If you went into a guitar shop and you said your budget was like 120 quid, they'd be like, alright, just beginner set there, like,
You can get one in Argos
I
for
bought a
cheap.
new one there. Well, it's a second hand.
a guitar, a what?
Taylor.
Taylor, acoustic. Okay,
Taylor. What the fuck's it called?
Taylor, yeah, they're Taylor made. They're expensive.
Yeah.
How much
I bought a
was it?
shitty one. Like I bought a shitty one in the first time I bought a guitar, and it was only like 45 quid. So then I bought this one. It was second hand on eBay, but it was like 450. But if you're buying this one new, it's like over $1,000.
Oh yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. There's a guy I knew used to tell me something.
It's a 214. 214.
Tampa or Tiger Mini or something. He said like those are the best acoustic guitars you can get.
Right.
Something Tampa or Tiger Mini. I have no idea.
Having a
You're a
crew.
tech guy. You could Google that.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to.
Tiger mounted.
Tiger Mini or Tappa Mini or something.
Type in
Who knows, man?
best
This was-
acoustic guitar.
This was
I
like
would have thought it would
fucking
be
20 years ago. This
Yeah,
motherfucker
yeah.
told me this,
Who
and
knows?
he was a geriatric. I will say he was a geriatric fuck, because like he tried to rip off my old man,
Fuck him then.
but he was in bands. He was like a drummer, or so he said, drummer. And remember RDG?
Mm-hmm.
He remembers him. For anyone who doesn't know RDG, he's like a fucking legend.
It's
You know,
an
man.
institution.
Yeah.
He's almost equivalent of Slash.
And that's no joke.
Yeah,
He's
man.
almost equivalent of Slash. Everyone knew he was, and he played busking pretty much every day,
Every
apart from
day.
Sunday.
So that was only because the town wasn't open
But-
on a Sunday.
I
In
should've
the
fucking-
70s in Dublin, like whenever he was like 15, 16, he was playing in bands non-stop. So he would go to whatever venue and play with a band. And he's that good at guitar, he would stay on stage and play with the next band because he was in that band as well. And none of these bands could afford to pay him, so they just paid him with drugs. So that's where he started drinking and doing drugs from the age of 15, and that's pretty much what stopped him from having an actual
Real
proper career, because he couldn't get it together. He was just
But he still is like a legend. There's a plaque where
oh
used
yeah,
to
he
stand.
was like from what this dude said was like he was amazing on guitar.
Right.
Like he was badass.
I
Everyone
see.
looked up to him,
Yeah.
and he was 15 or 16 years old. So I've never heard of him recording a song. I couldn't.
No, and like we've only ever
Probably
seen
the last thing to find you,
the
if it ever existed.
the fall from grace Artie, like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You
but he
know,
was always a good natured about him.
this
Like,
and me, man. He never was angry or never was. You know, he's just always.
well, it's a very odd time.
You know
him
what
get
you mean,
angry,
man. Yeah, but like you wouldn't see him nowadays. Like he couldn't exist nowadays.
No.
Could you imagine him in Oma now? Like
Yeah,
it just
get
wouldn't.
accused of all sorts, like-
Just wouldn't happen, man. Do you know what I mean? Or like, there's something lovable about the old cunt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like even your granny knew who RDG was. You know what I mean? Everybody knew who he was.
He was very fondly remembered by remember
Yeah,
my
man.
everything, like fucking, school children and everything. Like, well, I was a school child back then, like, and he's a legend. Like.
Yeah, apparently he's from like a well-off family. I don't know if they're wealthy, but his brother, I think, is a doctor,
Fuck.
and his sister's like, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea if he has a sister.
God knows.
But yeah, I think he has a brother who's like a doctor.
I think
and
a couple of years ago, I remember looking him up to explain to like Elaine, who he was or whatever.
What
And
he
then
was
there's YouTube videos and stuff about him and
Oh, really?
websites and
Oh,
so probably
really?
get
Yeah.
a chance.
I must check that out, actually, man.
Fucking Ghost of RDG.
RDG coming back, dropping science on people.
I
you
never
imagine?
thought, yeah.
You get her like a resurgence, and then somebody actually like has an old cover or an old bootleg or something that he fucking did,
It's
and you
like,
hear him
that's
just
it.
doing some sort of like face melting Hendrix fucking
it's like
style
Eva
shit.
Cassidy, whenever like she died in like whatever, like a year, 2 years after she's dead.
Yeah,
She becomes a big fucking
Blows
star.
up.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. Like what happened?
Who
Never
owns
know,
an
man.
estate? Can we get control?
We'll
like,
Sign us
blow
over
him
the
up.
rights.
Yeah.
We'll bring
That's
Artie
it. I'm
back.
sure
I'm gonna
they'd be-
Jimmy Levine, Artie
happy.
fucking G.
Yeah. I'll make some videos for him. Look. I can like in After Effects, like rotoscope his face onto like moving people so it looks like he's alive.
Oh, it'd be like that.
Deepfake.
It'd be like that subtle.
Deep fake shit, yeah.
Be like that subtle version of Nolan that you done.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Dude, whenever he showed me that picture the first time, and he was like, he said it so serious. He was like, "It's really subtle," and I was like, I was like, subtle is the furthest thing from that. I was like, his forehead is so big, you could land a plane on that shit. Like, it looks like. I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really dislike Chris Nolan. I like for someone like a director I used to like, I really dislike him now.
well,
I'm not gonna say hate because that's a strong word, but I thought I would do like an illustration of him, and I thought it would be funnier just to shrink the eyes, nose, and mouth on his face, just ever so slightly, but I would carry it away.
it looks amazing.
He looks so smug. He looks so smug.
He's so proud of himself.
He looks even smugger than he already was, if it was any more possible.
Wait,
I
what's
don't
the
know.
last movie he made?
Oh, who cares?
Yes.
Honestly,
Fuck him. Well, I hated
Just-
that. I know he made that Dunkirk movie, and it was fucking dog shit. I don't care what anybody says. The
It's
movie
like-
sucks.
Yeah, it was. I seen like I got recommended on YouTube something about Chris Nolan discusses the myth that is Batman and him going to lecture us on what his interpretation.
Why? Because
of
he made a
Batman-
couple movies?
Well, no, he's the authority on Batman. Like, he
But
can
says
say,
fucking who?
whoever made this YouTube video.
They can suck my dick. I'm as much of authority on Batman as Christopher Nolan. I guarantee you I've read more stuff Batman in my entire life. Not that that qualifies me, but if that's the fucking bar we're setting, just because I didn't make 3 movies, you could call those movies anything but Batman, and they could still be the exact same movie. You could call that movie fucking, I don't know.
Escape from LA.
We can call it Escape from LA. What's the? Oh, it'd be a generic superhero, not even a superhero, but a generic guy in a suit, just crime fighting. If you called him the Shadow, and it wasn't Batman,
White Justice.
yeah, there you go. Although that might have a slight problem. if you were the movie called White Justice
Yeah.
might stir up the wrong kind of love. Do it.
We've got Black Panther. I don't know.
That's true, Paul. I agree. But then, why could it not just be the Panther? Because most Panthers are black anyway. Are there white Panthers?
I know there's Carolina.
The white polar bear. I don't know. What?
All polar bears are white.
Polar bears are not panthers.
Yeah, and polar bears
Is
are
all
Panther.
panthers black?
I think so. You're the
All
tech guy.
Panthers
Check that
black.
shit out.
What's the Disney cartoon? Is it not a purple panther in it?
Yeah, but that's because the
Pink
camera-
Panther.
Pink panther, right?
Yeah, Bagheera's
See?
purple in that Disney Jungle Book shit.
Bagheera.
Bagheera,
Which one's Bagheera?
the panther.
I'm actually checking this shit out.
What am I thinking? I'm thinking Scar.
Scar's a
Scar's a
lion.
lion.
You don't know shit
True
about
that.
Disney, do you? Dude,
I'm
see if there's
36.
right because I had 3 younger sisters. If there's a Disney movie made fucking after I've been born
Mhm.
up until 2000, I've been subjected to that movie more times than I could count.
What's the best Disney movie?
Aladdin, original Aladdin,
Best Disney movie of all time? Aladdin.
probably. I think so. For me, I don't give a shit about Beauty and the Beast. I don't give a fuck about Cinderella, Snow White, any of those ones. The Lion King still is pretty good. I'm not gonna watch that crap remake because number one, it doesn't have Elton John singing in it, so it's not The Lion King, and it's got Beyonce in it, and I don't want to listen to Beyonce at all, and her voice is going to be used as one of the characters in it. So every time that character's talking, that's all I'm going to see is Beyonce's bake up on the fucking screen, and I don't want that. I know that's not really going to be the scene, but that's what I'll see in my head.
Mm.
We think what other there's man everything's Disney now.
Yeah, no,
But
I
if
would
they-
say pre-acquisition.
Well,
Spree,
I mean,
before they
but
bought
I mean
Pixar
pre-acquisition. I don't
and-
count the acquisition. Let's say if it's before Pixar came out, like Disney movies were what we grew up on. Maybe not so much you, but over in the States, man,
Oh
like
no, yeah, I watched Disney movies.
everybody did. Like, you know,
Yeah, we had more other stuff though as well. We have like Asterix. and
yeah. You see,
Obelix.
we wouldn't have had, we didn't have that sort of stuff.
There'd be some English European style. I'm trying to think of some shit, but I suppose not so much movies, more shows.
But
The
yeah.
movies are all American. more or
But
less.
you think like
The
none of
Snowman?
those.
Did you
Fuck
get that?
fucking thing. I hate that.
No, you didn't get the Snowman. What was the BFG? DreamWorks?
Don't know.
The BFG cartoon? Is that DreamWorks?
It's pretty. It's recent enough, but that BFG cartoon. There's
That's
a
the
movie.
80s, man. I was in primary school when it was out.
Oh, I don't know. I've never seen
I
it.
remember watching it at primary school. Darby O'Gill and the Little People, is that Disney?
Don't know.
Darby O'Gill. I can't even do an Irish
most
southern
What
accent.
was it? BIG?
BFG.
BFG?
The BFG, the animated BFG. Nah, there's one from like a couple of years ago. Spielberg.
But there's an old TV
But
series
yeah, it was
or
an
a
old
cartoon.
whatever year it may be.
Man, it's like I always remember like going to the cinema to see like Disney movies because like
Yeah, it was
that
Disney.
that was the thing.
BFG was Disney.
The really old animated one, yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of that new thing.
Well, no, it could still be.
No,
That's the new one, yeah. No, there's an animated one from the 80s, and it would be early to mid 80s because I was at primary school and I watched it. So what? That would be 90, 91 maybe, maybe younger. Like who made the GI Joe and Transformer? I know it was Hasbro and Marvel, but there's another company.
It'd be like Activision, not that one.
It says Roald Dahl.
Yeah, he wrote it.
Right, okay, that's the book then.
Yeah.
Still the king.
See
of
those
children's books.
Hanna-Barbera, man. Hanna-Barbera would have put out a lot of that stuff. Yeah, or some of those type of animations like Filmco and stuff. They wouldn't necessarily exist anymore, those companies, or if they did, they would have been like bought over and merged into something like those cartoon companies. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah. They actually what's a good thing about the G.I. Joe movie? And they were supposed to release it in the cinemas and everything, but because of Transformers and what happened with Optimus Prime,
That's right.
scarred kids, so they couldn't have Duke dying at the end of G.I. Joe.
That's right, he just got badly injured.
Yeah, that was the plan. He was supposed to be killed off, and they didn't because of that, and that's why it didn't get a. They think if they released G.I. Joe first, it would have been different. All the movies would have been a lot bigger.
Oh man, I never seen that G.I. Joe movie in the cinema. I don't think.
No, I don't think it went to cinema. I think it just was released to video.
Okay, I was gonna
I
say
only ever saw it on video.
I only ever saw it on video, but then that's the GI Joe movie when they go to Cobra La, isn't it? In
Yeah.
Antarctica.
Cobra
Cobra La.
Yeah.
Serpentor's in that, isn't it? Yeah, he
I
is. He
haven't
is.
seen it.
He is because they created Serpentor and like I remember there was the fucking one time that my cousin over in the States, like his fucking old man recorded like 6 episodes of G.I. Joe and they were actually sequential and they were like a 6-part thing or like a 4-part, whatever it was, where they created Serpentor and it showed you like the fucking Cobra guys would go and get Genghis Khan's DNA, Vlad the Impaler's DNA, like all these like the conquerors, the baddest dudes like about in the whole world, and they I would say so. Stalin, all the dudes,
Clinton.
and like this is before Clinton's time, so they probably got Bush or Reagan.
Reagan.
Yeah, but like
Nixon.
they combined them all and they made Serpentor, and then that was the thing is whenever they went to that Cobra La place in that movie, they made reference to it where they were like, "Oh, we gave your man the idea and the knowledge to make Serpentor," and then I love that fucking movie. I want to watch that tonight. Actually,
I haven't seen it in
it's horrible. It's
25 years. Maybe.
it's great. It's so bad. It's good, man. You forget how
I like the music
what the G.I. Joe
because
theme song.
they started playing some of the movie music is a wee bit different because you had them saying Cobra and you hear your dude saying Cobra in the background.
Cobra. Yeah, they're like Cobra.
I'll do that. It's Cobra.
Cobra.
Yeah.
It goes
Way in the
really,
background,
really
yeah.
high. I know
Yeah.
exactly the bit you're talking
And
about.
it's just so
Dude,
air
it's
guitar. Yeah.
man, it's 80s kids metal cheese-tastic.
It is awesome. It
Like,
really is.
I'm gonna start promoting that. Gavin, what's that band I told you about that I showed you? The Transformers.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're amazing.
What are they called again?
I don't know.
Something
Put in
songs?
Transformers covers.
The music's a bit whack.
Oh, it's horrible, but that's why. But it's only music from the Transformers movie, man. That's why it's shit. You got the touch.
Why is the one dude not dressed up?
Don't know. There was a bunch of guys all dressed up.
Yeah, but there's one dude not dressed
I
up.
didn't watch all of the video.
Dude,
I was watching a few of them. I was,
Cybertronic.
the video
yeah,
you sent me,
Cybertronic.
in the video you sent me, there's like everyone's dressed up as Transformers, and there's like one dude just in regular clothes.
Maybe
why?
they ran out of fucking outfits.
No, it's the
for him.
singer. Like,
Fuck
it's
him.
the dude singing.
No, it's not. He's dressed as Hot Rod, the one that I sent you.
No, man, I'm telling you, there's a dude with fucking red hair and like a baseball cap. He might as well have a pencil in his mouth singing.
I don't know. The one I sent you, the bit that I watched, the guy's dressed as Hot Rod singing.
I don't know.
The video I seen was Gear.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones. They do different songs.
What you
The music's whack, like.
Oh, the music's just from the Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Most people know that You've Got the Touch song because Mark Wahlberg sings it at the very end of Boogie Nights. Whenever he takes out his big horse cock, he sings, "You got the touch. Mm-mm. You got the power. Yeah." It's amazing.
If only I could put the music underneath that.
You could do covers.
Get Gavin on the acoustic.
Down, 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 down.
I haven't played guitar and well, no, I strummed around for a little bit, but
I'll bring mine
like,
over.
not at all. We'll waste more time playing guitar.
Gavin, you know what
for
you
next
should buy?
time.
A set of record decks.
What?
So just so I can use them. You like tech stuff. You can use them too, but like, then we can practice scratching.
Or just learn. Or just learn, not
What?
even practice.
Yeah,
just learn.
That's
to
what I mean.
scratch.
That's what I mean by practice. Practice
Oh, okay.
learning. We could be like scratching, spitting hot fire. I could be the next one. I don't know.
Vandross.
Bandross?
Vandross.
Vandross?
Would it be Transformer anything involved?
No, you see, I would love to call myself DJ Starscream, but that's already been taken. I know. And from the minute that I seen it, I was just like, you stole my DJ name.
No,
That's
not
years ago.
necessarily. Like, you can. The worst one I've heard. Can I say the worst name I've heard
Go for
very recently? This dude won like some album competition in Scotland. Anti-Flow.
Anti-flow.
Auantie. Anti as in your aunt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then Flow. FLO.
Like,
As an Anti-Flow has come to visit.
alright. Does he rap?
I didn't even. I seen the name, man, and I was. Why would I even want to click
Disappointed
on this?
on every level. That
He
guy's-
won some competition, probably based on the name alone, because
Yeah.
it's that woke.
Woke. Shit's woke. That's what it's all about nowadays.
Yeah,
being
you
woke.
could have. Yeah, you could. What other Transformers are
Oh,
there?
there's loads of different Transformers.
Someone's called themselves Grimlock, no doubt.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is.
It's got to be an MC Grimlock.
You gotta.
or-
You need some, but then, like, you want something cool as well and memorable. Don't know. I'd have
like the
to.
Unibomber. Just call yourself
The Unibeat Bomber.
The Unibeat Bomber.
No. DJ Taliban.
Get attention.
It would that or else DJ ISIS.
I think that's taken. I think,
Infidel,
I think there is. Yeah.
What's this?
Infiltrators? Infidel?
Infidel.
Infidel.
DJ Infidel. That'd be good. I am very much an infidel.
You mean we were at some music festival, and you made me buy an army jacket with Infidel written on the back. What the fuck is that? You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's out of left field. Yeah, I can remember. It was
Was it wrote in a machine gun?
former Belfast business.
That's right.
Apache.
Ah, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Apache.
Shout out to Apache
Shout out
and
to
their
Apache.
fucking rip off George Best Che Guevara t-shirts.
That's
I
right.
What a bunch of shit.
'Cause you
George Best and Che Guevara.
you got that infidel shirt and I bought a UPS shirt. Do you remember? But it was literally like those UPS delivery shirt uniforms, only where it says UPS, there's a fucking giant weed leaf.
Oh yeah.
And
I
there's on
remember
the
that,
thing,
yeah.
instead of United Postal Service, it says United Pot Smokers.
Yeah.
Man, I bet you, I guarantee I still have that shirt. I know for a fact I never wore it once.
Get that shit for next.
I wore my
God knows where it is.
Oh.
Like, whenever I get into my house, whenever I finally get it, I will dig it out and I'll loudly and
Do you still
proudly
have
wear
your
it.
infidel jacket?
I'd say it somewhere like. And
What did
wear it.
was I too poor to buy anything? Or I just
But I remember it was especially you that we was saying you've got to buy this.
Because I think more for the joke that you hadn't a clue what an infidel was,
That's
probably, and that was probably more us laughing our ass off at that.
trying to think, when was that though? Yeah, that was like 2002, right at the height, right at the height of the panic.
Yeah, that's right. Uh-huh.
That's
9/11.
1 year after. fucking-
Yeah, 9/11 was probably about a year or two before that.
Motherfucker.
I wouldn't have remembered that, but yeah, I can see
What
you
was
now wearing a camouflage jacket with
was
infidel
it-
written on it.
It was Witness, or
Witness.
because we went to a couple festivals that year.
Yeah, I was witness. Yeah,
What was the other one we went to?
oxygen. It's the same one.
But
Just
we went to
changed name.
two of them that year, like quite close to each other.
Oh, we went to Ozfest.
No, I wasn't at Ozfest with this.
Corn Ozfest.
Mine the Prodigy. Was the Prodigy at that one minute?
Was that?
I've seen the Prodigy so many times, man,
Oxygen. They
that
were
I
at
honestly
Oxygen.
can't remember. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen them at least 3 or 4 times.
We
at
saw the
festivals.
Prodigy, but you were raging because you wanted to see Green Day.
That's not true.
No, it's
Probably.
Well, see-
Prodigy.
I would say
I've
that.
seen Prodigy once, and that was like one of the most memorable
Yeah.
performances.
yeah,
like,
but
that I've
yeah,
ever
you
did.
wanted to see I think Green Day or someone was on at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
I've checked the lineup. Go to the Wikipedia and it gives you the lineup
From
of
back
that
in the
of that
day.
year.
So
Yeah,
what would you call it?
because the year we went to see Ozfest, like we saw Black Label Society, we saw System of a Down, we saw Slayer, I think we saw Disturbed,
I wasn't there.
we saw Tool, like all in the one fucking night. At
I
Ozfest.
was thinking I fucking seen two. I was
Yeah,
chatting.
yeah,
I
at
was
Ozfest.
chatting. I go, I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
So the only person we didn't see was Ozzy.
So 2002.
Um,
You've got
oh, was it 2002? I think so. Maybe 2001.
The Prodigy. Yeah, it's 2002.
Who else
How
was
you were
there?
able to remember that? Fuck man. So the Chemical Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Too many DJs. Basement
Yeah,
Jacks.
we saw
Yeah.
Soulwax.
Yeah.
The Dandy Warhols.
Yeah.
Badly Drawn Boy. Green Day. It's gotta be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mercury Rev. No
Mhm.
Doubt. Damien Rice.
No Doubt.
Mogwai.
Yeah.
No doubt,
We saw
man.
Mogwai.
Yeah.
Ended badly.
The Redneck Manifesto.
No, I didn't see them.
The Flames. Lemon Jelly. Massive Attack.
Yeah.
That's it.
We went and seen Massive Attack, didn't we?
Primal Scream. Fuck man.
Yeah.
That was so
Did we see Primal Scream too?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we did.
They were playing a
Jimmy-
smaller stage.
Jimmy Eat World.
Primal Scream must have been playing whenever somebody really good was up, man, because there's no reason why we wouldn't have went to see Primal Scream.
I remember 80s Matchbox.
Yeah.
Beeline Disaster.
Because we all crowd surfed. Well, me and you
Yeah.
did.
By the
Did
time
you?
it came to me, the crowd was fed up and they were going to throw the next person to the ground. Because you did it first and because you're so small, it was fine. Then because you were so much bigger than him, people were like, not again. So they're like, you do it now. It's like, yeah, if I go, I can get fucked to the ground straight away.
Do I remember crowd surfing to Nelly Furtado?
That's right. What? That wasn't that year.
I was like the only fucking one.
That wasn't that year. That was
No,
like
that was
another.
it,
That was another
that was
one
fucking like,
we went to, man.
um,
I forgot
U2
about
or
that.
something? Was it our fucking?
No,
what do
it
you
wasn't.
call
No, it was.
Slain?
I can't
Was it
remember, but I remember you going up and crowd surfing to Nelly Furtado, and you being the only one up there, and it being like, just why? Like, and why were
But
we
people
at?
got on board with me.
Yeah, but
I
why?
went for fucking miles.
But why were we at Nelly Furtado?
That
I
was
want
the
to.
point. That was the
That's,
point.
that's also the big question. Is
I think we must have been waiting. Was I there? We must have been waiting for someone next.
either
It
that or
was
she
the best
was.
crowd surf I've ever done.
Do you know what? It might have been Snoop Dogg was on next. That might have been what it was.
Maybe that's what it
Oh,
was.
no,
Because I remember we went to see Snoop.
Ironically, like I was enjoying the show. Like.
Oh man, she only has one song,
What
like
is
a
it?
bird.
Play like a bird.
Nah,
I
she's
think
got a
that's what it
bunch of
was.
shit now, but not back then. she
Name
didn't.
another one.
Um.
Just one.
In
her full catalog.
Shut up. You're putting me on the spot because I seen her in TV today in one of those one of those episodes of the Defiant ones. She does a song with Timbaland called Promiscuous. There you go.
Promiscuous.
I can't pull it out. He did, yeah. I think that's right.
Where did you see this song?
In the Defiant ones.
The Defiant ones. Okay.
Because they were talking about
You know I'm not going to watch it again. I might
Oh,
check
okay.
IMDb to see if that's
Jimmy
true.
Jimmy Levine was talking about, putting up random people
Oh,
together.
he loves her. Is it?
Well, it was like he
Banging her.
he put her and Timbaland together and shit like that. Random shit people that you would never think that would be good to work together. It was like he was apparently partly
It's
responsible.
not that far reach. Like, I fucking Nelly
Listen,
Furtado.
motherfucker.
I know. I'm not saying to you. I'm just saying to him. It's not that far reach. Put her with fucking Marilyn Manson or something. We'll see what it's like.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. You need to have like Nick Cave, like Kylie Minogue thing. Whereas
I don't
it
like Nick
looks
Cave
wrong.
anymore. But I
Why?
love that just because I've really gone off him. He wrote something in some TV show or some movie. Not
You
not
don't
The
need to,
Proposition.
You don't need to like his movies or shit.
No, but I like that song that him and Kylie Minogue did.
As lyrics, man, as a lyricist.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is, at this moment, there's not many people who can touch him. Despite what the fuck they say about Kendrick Lamar and yeah, fucking put his lyrics against Nick Cave's lyrics to see who's a better lyricist.
Who doesn't get the props? Shane McGowan. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? If you're gonna be throwing like, if you wrote his stuff down, and you could publish it in a book. If you just wrote his lyrics down, you could publish it
yeah.
in a book as poems or whatever.
Right up to the mid-90s.
Yeah.
It's not nothing in the last 25 years though.
True, but like, you know, you look at his body of work whenever he was out of his tree, so you know, you gotta expect some sort of downturn.
But like Nick Cave's churning that out like every couple of years. That type of really well written.
I just think it might just be my bias coming in
Because he's Australian.
yeah.
Shane McGowan's Irish.
I don't
Where what about Bono?
Bono? Yeah, fuck Bono. Bono's an asshole. From what I see. Don't get smug there.
Hear that, Ireland?
You hate Bono more than I do.
I know.
You could like my hatred of Bono is probably running a close second to yours. Like
I reached a point in my life where Bono doesn't affect me.
It doesn't affect me either, but it's like I'm not going to say that I'm a fan.
Bono's like the Catholic Church.
That's very bad. I wouldn't want.
No, as in that he exists. I'm aware that he's there.
Just choose not to
He's
interact.
Just there. He's always there.
I don't give a shit. I don't have to listen or talk to Bono. He's not in my friend circle. And do you know what? There's a handful of U2 songs are good. I'll give them their fucking dues. You can argue with me what you want.
I know which one you mean, but you do get what I'm saying.
There's a handful of U2 songs are good. I don't like all
With or Without You.
Yes, Paul. That's it. That one. That's the
Beautiful Day.
No.
No.
No, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That one where he just goes, yeah.
What's that one?
I don't know.
Is that the one in South Park where you just have him going around going, yeah.
Anything U2 done past like
yeah.
the 90s, I don't give a crap about. Or like the 80s U2 stuff, decent enough. Again, I think it was because I was watching.
Probably called yeah.
I wouldn't think it's
yeah,
called
yes.
The yes.
Oh, is it called Hello?
I think it might be. That's what's pulled up. Full lyrics.
That's right. It goes hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. The very last.
It's called Hello.
Couple of words. Eh?
It's called Hello.
Nice, hello. Yeah, you're right.
Hello.
No. Vertical.
Oh, okay.
But it's got a lot of hello in the lyrics.
And yes.
Yes.
Nice.
You really pushed the boat out to come up with the lyrics on
How
that
many
one.
writers were involved in that?
Just all Bono. Just one writer. Bono. Song. Bono. He's like music. Bono.
The Edge is fine. You gotta like Larry.
Which one's he?
Drummer. Adam Clayton's the bassist.
I don't think I've ever
The
heard
Edge.
the drummer.
I can never remember the Edge's real name. I can remember Bono's real name because unfortunately it's Paul. It's like Paul Hudson or Hewson or
something like that. I don't think.
What is the Edge's real name?
Who cares?
I would guess.
Norman.
Stephen McFadden.
Rory.
James.
David Howell Evans.
David
That's
Howell
a
Evans.
shit name.
That's a shit name.
I've never heard the drummer or the bassist ever say anything in U2, as far as I know.
Well, they did the refresh of the Mission Impossible soundtrack that time for Tom Cruise.
That's right.
So that one that you listen to now is like, that's them. Reimagine that. And
they don't sing in it.
Adam, all he does is drive nice cars and fuck supermodels.
Well, that's...
And doesn't really do anything apart from that.
Why? That's awesome. I would be content.
Adam... Who did I say first?
I think you said Adam. Which
Larry,
one's Adam?
Sorry, Larry. Larry does that.
Larry, what does
Larry's
he do?
the drummer.
The drummer?
With the earring and the
so
hair.
he just bangs supermodels.
The one you
and
used
drives...
to look like.
Okay.
Ryan used to look like the drummer from U2, Larry. Because he has the piercing and the blonde hair. Adam's the one with the glasses that I probably look more like, which is even more horrifying. And like stooped over face. Grey hair. And he's, I don't know what he does.
I'm sure he does probably something the same as the other guy does, just...
He probably visits fucking
Nuru Health.
What you call it? Dobbies. Dobbies on the weekend. You know what Dobbies is? You know what Dobbies is?
Dobbies? What the hell's
Dobbies.
Dobbies?
No.
Fucking sell gardening stuff. It's like a big gardening store.
Like from
It's like home base
Here?
or B&Q. It's like called that.
Local?
Yeah, it's like
Local?
here. Yeah, there's one in Spruceville. Or
Dobbies.
yeah.
Like even these days, or is this way back?
No, this is like now. This is like a huge chain of garden centers.
No, I hate that stuff.
I
Yeah,
should
Gavin,
go.
you
I
should
ruined the joke anyway. It's
Yeah.
like supposed to be in
Fuck, but-
Dobbies. It's not even a joke.
I,
It's, yeah. I
like
should have
it.
said B&Q. He was the B&Q.
Dobbies.
Not
I
gonna
still
say
actually
that
he
out
know
there.
he spends his whole life in fucking.
D-O-B.
That other crowd of bastards
He's fucking
that we
right.
both worked for at the time.
That's
I actually
right.
recommend you get a job with them, and I feel bad for that.
Nah, man, fuck, that was fine.
For what it was, like the money's decent for what the work is.
Yes and no. Let me see it.
Dobbies.
Never
eh?
seen
Garden
that,
Center, no.
That's
never
not
seen
an
it.
ad for. I'm gonna bleep Dobbies out. I'm not giving them free advertising.
Fuck your garden center.
I don't even think I've ever been in one. don't
I
think so.
hate those things, man. Ever
What?
since I was a kid, garden centers. See, whenever my folks used to would have to go to one of those places, like I used to hate getting dragged there. Like hate
I
it.
thought all the gnomes were chasing you.
I
Yeah.
know, like it.
Nah, well, that's because you're a middle class, 2.4 children married with a business and all that sort of stuff, and you like to
Garden centers.
do like plant bushes.
What do you like? Whenever you go into a garden center, what section do you go to first?
Like
Don't matter, like, it's just
like
depends
home
what we're looking
improvement,
for,
like DIY? Do you like to go and like fix
planted
things?
a couple of trees there recently.
What sort of trees? Like
Knowledge
good
trees.
Eucalyptus.
money trees,
Pussy trees.
Yeah.
weed
Eucalyptus.
trees.
Eucalyptus tree.
They're not what I'm
Eucalyptus.
saying. We want.
It's called a eucalyptus tree.
I want either pussy trees, money trees, or weed trees. Those are the only type of tree
I've done one of
you're
them.
allowed to grow.
I've done one of them.
Don't admit
Which
that,
one?
Well,
Don't admit that.
You should start trying to diversify.
From money trees into other things.
Yeah.
See that you've already
Yeah.
grown a money tree.
Yeah, so you've already cracked the market on the
Yeah,
money tree,
You've
so
got
you
the
know.
money tree nailed down.
Yeah.
You've got the family tree.
Boom! It's going strong too. That's right. See, so you've got two types of trees going. You're a regular.
That's a big danger. Someone doing your family tree incorrectly and wrong.
Why?
Because I
What do you
know,
mean?
I shouldn't say this. I know an aunt that did it incorrectly. Not say wrong. Did it incorrectly.
Did she forget
She
people?
maybe missed a small name or a comma somewhere. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But she presented it to my grandfather. He was furious because it basically said we were descended from horse thieves, which you don't know is like the lowest of the low. Like a horse thief's the worst. Worse than a murderer is a horse thief. But yeah, but luckily she was incorrect. I don't know.
And you're not descending from a
For
gang
all-
of
For all I
horse.
know, yeah. Luckily she was wrong, but so he sat down and did it all out then to make it. I don't think I've really looked at it, but it's there.
I know who my grandparents were. Past that, don't know.
We
More
should
importantly,
Google your name. See if there's anyone the same name as him.
You know any famous?
No, just people
Sure,
in the
he's
world.
done
No, just
No.
people in the world.
it. Sure,
There's-
he's done it.
There's a dude with the same name as me, and he'd get
I'm
better
sure
get
there's
off
a dude
YouTube.
with the same age or same name
There's
as
the same
me.
one as me, someone from Scotland who's a
Oh, let me see both of them.
Oh,
'cause
there's-
you should see the dude that is the same name
Famous?
as me. I've showed you him before.
I think so.
Yeah. Look, hopefully sometime you'll watch this and you'll see me calling him out. He made some whack ass YouTube videos. Him and some girl.
Are you
Did I
looking
show it
for
to you?
famous people with the same name as you?
No, just people in the
Just
world.
normal
With, it has to be spelled exactly the
Yeah.
same way.
So
I'm
there's,
sure there
there's
is.
15 profiles on LinkedIn, professional people.
Go to
Oh, really?
image. Go to images and see
Yeah,
the
just
first
pull up
image.
first
whoever
What
image.
you
comes
want,
up.
just pictures, not like profiles.
Just picture.
Right,
Oh,
well,
first one.
First Ryan McGurk that
right,
comes
there's the
up.
very first one.
Oh my god.
Awesome.
Surely you've seen that, right?
That's awesome. There you go. That's you.
That's absolutely amazing.
Right now, you do it for your name.
Kinda
Neo. See, how
Neo.
many other people are called Neo?
Well, let's see if yours looks more than 12.
Mine does. Oh my god. You seen the dude?
It's been that long that I can't
Oh.
remember, but
I'm thankful
I
yours
know
is. Mine's worse. I'm thankful yours is like that.
the
Don't game the system.
The first image or
Oh, it's probably
the worst
you,
one at
is
the
it?
time?
It's probably you.
No. Like that's the first one, but that's
The
probably
first
stupid.
person.
He looks like he's a new dude or something.
Oh, he's a radio.
What do you say? Look?
What do you say? At least yours is a.
Now you can look at mine, and I can get the embarrassment. Because yeah, mine's the worst. I did a lot.
Oh, yours. Is
Unless
gonna
I
be-
come up first, and I doubt it. I very much doubt it.
So the very you have actually come up first.
Oh, all right, the one below me, or to the right of me.
This.
Let me see. Oh man, he looks like a cartoon caricature. Man, that's so weird looking. He looks like he sort of looks like a fucked up version of Drake as well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah,
That's crazy.
This dude, I've seen him.
He's stealing
before.
your identity, man.
No, because of now I have like built a website and shit to check all those things, and you see how many people have the same name. There's more than that. There's a few people, but
That's the same guy there again.
oh yeah, he's
That's amazing.
the thing is, I don't even want to say it. All I'll say is that he's Canadian, and there was a time we wanted to move to Canada,
Right.
and we wanted to move to the same place.
That he lives.
Hey,
Yeah, that's where we wanted to move to, and I was like, because I was actually looking at Canada, and then I saw
that motherfucking thing's still doing the fucking turning itself off. But I caught it this time, so it's press the button right away.
it's okay. You
That's
just
all right.
flick to bars over the eyes.
No.
Yeah, we're going
That's
back.
the
No, that's the default.
The new format with the new format.
No. Whenever it falls,
Yeah.
black bar, and that space.
You know what I want to do?
That
Whenever
screensaver.
it happens, I want it to be like the Phantom Zone, and have you in like a glass thing, like trapped, like spinning. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen Superman?
About Tom York in that bowl with the water coming up.
Oh, from No Surprises.
Uh,
Well, yeah, it's kind of like that. But do you remember the Superman movies where Zod was like trapped in like the fucking
The
oh,
prism?
the prism, and he like goes to like the Phantom Zone? Or is that either in the Phantom Zone or they're in the prison?
Yeah,
Is that it?
yeah. That's in the Phantom Zone.
That's what I want. Yeah, I want whenever it cuts off for the you spinning in the
Like,
Phantom
nah.
Zone. Yeah,
Like General Zod and Superman 2. Or whatever Superman it is.
that's what we should have called you, Zod,
so
instead of Neo.
Zod.
still early doors. Yeah.
Zod.
I'm sure it can be changed.
You can have multiple names.
I give it that, man. In that Man of Steel movie, that is cool. That bit where they come down to Earth and he takes over all of the stations. That bit is cool, and it whatever flicks off and all the lights go. That bit's great. The rest of the movie's trash.
It's
That-
just not a
that bit's
good
great,
movie.
yeah. It's like that. What was that Luke Besson one? Valerian.
Oh, Valerian and the
the
city
intro's
of,
awesome.
and that bit in the
yeah,
market that you were saying. Yeah, that's
great,
amazing.
yeah. You should watch that, Gavin.
What
Like
movie?
that
That's what I was
movie.
going to ask you. What's that?
Valerian and
Uh,
1,000 Planets,
The
is it?
city of a
That
thousand
doesn't say
planets,
it.
or
Spell V.
Oh, I don't know. It's on
Va-
Netflix.
Valerian.
Um,
Yeah,
It's as easy going to
IMDb.
IMDb and
That's
looking
the
for
one.
Luke Besson.
Oh, look best.
Look up Luc Besson and then look up his filmography. Luc Besson.
I don't. Does he direct that as well? Is he?
I don't know. I think he does. I think he does.
Luke Benson.
Besson. Besson.
L. His first name is Luc.
Uh,
Space
there's the problem.
B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, B what?
ESS.
Alright, got him there. Raider. The Fifth Element.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Did you see The Fifth Element?
Oh, I
Yeah.
Way
Same
back.
same dude.
So which is the movie you're on about?
Valerian and
City or the
of a
world
Thousand
or
Planets?
something like 1,000 planets or 1,000,000 planets or some bullshit
so
like that.
what he's got is Fifth Element, Leon, Lucy.
That's just what he's known for.
Nick,
It's the most recent, one of the most recent ones he's done in the last
Subway,
3 years.
Anna. I'm not seeing this, brother.
Hold on.
Brother. See you all. Valerian, the City of Thousand Planets.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, that's my watch list.
It's a good movie. It's a decent enough movie.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
going to
not,
say it's good. It's great.
It's not as good as The Fifth Element, but if you enjoyed The Fifth Element, you'll enjoy that flick. Because
Yeah.
it's the
What is
same
the one I
style.
watched? The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element, man. I watch The Fifth Element at least twice a year. It's awesome.
I seen that fucking whenever it first came out. Like,
Me too.
And I haven't seen it since.
Oh,
Oh,
you should
yeah.
watch it
Oh,
again,
it's
man.
great.
It's great.
Yeah, like, actually, it's a good show.
It's one of the funniest bits in all of movie history, in my opinion, in The Fifth Element. There's a little bit where Bruce Willis answers his door, and there's the guy standing there with the helmet on, and it's a picture of Bruce Willis's hallway that he's like standing there trying to rob him, and it's just funny as shit. It's like, if I start telling you about it, it's not going to seem funny, but it's so funny that Bruce Willis even laughs in the middle of the scene, and they fucking keep it in. But the guy who plays that like crackhead junkie dude, that's Matthew Casso, or I can't remember how you say his name, but he's the dude who directed Lahane.
Oh, yeah. I actually found out how they did that shot.
The forward and back one. Dara told me about that because I asked him, because I remember us talking about it, and we couldn't figure out how they did it, and Dara told me, and I was like, that's so simple now that it's
Yeah.
fucking been that now that someone told me how they fucking did that.
You could
Yeah.
do it on that camera.
Yeah,
Which shot is it?
it's literally, man, they've a dolly shot, and
In the Fifth Element?
no, it's in Lahane, but they're standing on a balcony, and what they do is they zoom out and they focus in at the same time. So it's like all they're doing is they're focusing in on you, but they're pulling the camera back on a dolly at the same time.
Right.
And like, we couldn't figure out whenever we were
Yeah.
watching it back in the day, like how they done that shot, because it's all, that's the whole thing with that
What
Lahane.
was like the background out of focus?
I can't remember specifically.
It changes focus.
Yeah.
The background seems like it's moving while
Right,
they're
okay,
moving. So the two are moving independent of each other at different,
Yeah.
but you can cheat it in a way that if you have a camera on a dolly, and it's usually better if you're moving back away from the target.
Mhm.
But if you put that footage in and scale it up in size
I know what you mean. That's the way.
and let it play, let it play, but change the scale as you're letting it zoom in, so it'll give you that effect. So you can cheat it,
Right.
without. It's very hard to get that focus,
Yeah.
so it's easier to scale it
In post
while the focus is kept to the like automatic. But yeah, we'll do this for some video,
Yeah.
some fucking crazy ad. I'll chop in like another ad because we're gonna have a little break here now. It was, what was it last? The triplets, Tinder. What was it? Twinder.
Twinder. Yeah, that
Twinder.
you have to be a twin to get on it, apart from me, because I came up with it, and I get master programmer rights on that shit.
domain secured.
Like
this week.
Ready Player One. I get fucking
Actually, I never
ultimate
did that, yeah.
access.
That was supposed to. You're supposed to do that.
Secure the Twinder, didn't he?
Yeah. Not really. Who gives a fuck?
I'm just
Someone
I
wants.
never actually.
I think it
clicked on
actually
it.
exists. Actually, if you check
Did
on
you look
Twitter, no, if you check on Twitter, there's a company called that. I think from, I don't know if they're still going now, but their last tweets were years ago.
Oh,
We're
really?
talking, yeah, it might have been 2012.
It's a thing.
Is
Yeah,
it?
there's a-
Raging, man. I thought I came up with that
Is it still
independently.
going though? Is it
It
still?
looks to be like there's an app. Like you can download the app.
It's bullshit.
Oh no, that's fucking Tinder.
You're so lucky,
Man.
Oh,
How-
There's
like-
a fucking Twitter that's called. There's a Twitter handle called Twinder.
yeah. Don't
Follow
you
me
imagine?
back.
You imagine your wife looks at your phone and you didn't realize and you downloaded,
You
that.
downloaded
Oh,
Tinder.
yeah.
That'd be awesome. You're the worst tech guy in the world, Gavin. Honest to God.
It's fucking working. Like.
No, but you're just like, oh no, that app exists. No, wait, that's Tinder. You're meant to be the one that's up with all the tech anyway. Like, out of all of us, you probably work with tech the
I used
most.
to be like,
And like, you're on that shit. Like,
10 years ago, like, but it's getting old. Like.
You could go as Zod for Halloween, like slick your hair back and
yeah,
trim your beard up a
man.
bit.
I've never done anything for Halloween for about over a decade. Never, even since I was a kid, I haven't done anything for Halloween.
Why? Who would you go as?
I don't know. I have no imagination, Paul. I could do a shitty version of Jack's fucking from Sons of Anarchy. Grow my hair out a bit, trim my beard. Then all I need
Sky a lot.
is scowl a lot.
Blame everyone else.
Yeah, and then I have a pair of fucking Air Force Ones. They're not white, but they're Air Force Ones. A pair of baggy.
What about Blade?
Blade? I could pull Blade off. Definitely black enough. But anything else?
Thank you, tech guy.
Good solution, tech guy.
Zod.
Um,
General Zod.
kneel before Zod. Yeah,
You could be Blade. That's what I said.
it could be. I could be Blade.
Number Blade.
Yeah. Why could I not be Blade? It's racist.
He's coming back as
It's
Blade.
racist to say that I can't be Blade.
He's coming back as Rennie.
Remy
Remy.
from. He's not the antacid.
Oh
The
no,
Rennies.
Rennie's.
The Rennies.
Rennie's. Remy
Yeah, Remy from House of Cards.
as Blade.
As
That
Blade.
is in the movie.
Think so.
It's
yeah.
going to be R-rated.
I don't know. I would imagine not because it's Marvel and they don't make R-rated movies under any circumstances.
Blade was good flick.
Yeah,
The first
Blade was
one
awesome.
a good
Man, the
flick.
first one was great.
Yeah.
Even the second one's great. Third one's shit, but it's just
Yeah, Wesley was off the deep end.
was. But then there was side characters in that, and like they weren't really very good.
Was it the Wolf Pack? Or what was it? What did they call
No,
themselves?
that was
Was
the
that in the second
no,
one?
that was the second. They were the
Wolf
bad
Pack?
guys, the Blood Pack.
The Blood Pack.
That was Perlman, and then there was the guy from Fast and the Furious was in it, and then there was Donnie Yen was the little Asian guy, but he was like fight choreographer for like that whole movie and for like the Matrix and shit like that. Does a bunch of martial arts movies.
I'm trying to think. Who's the guy from Fast? I don't know Fast and Furious. Who's the guy?
He's the guy with short hair in it. Like that's how he's on.
The
He's
beard?
on. Yeah, he's got like a stubble
Oh,
beard.
Ryan Bader.
Yeah. That's what he looks like. Yeah, he looks like Ryan Bader. Then there's some chick, some bald guy with a hammer, and then
Yeah.
there's the guy who's priest. He's an Irish dude.
Oh,
You would have
yes, yes.
seen him, and he's been in so much shit. Like he's always that guy from different bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But then in the third one, it's Ryan Reynolds and the fucking, I think, is it the chick from Buffy? Might play some. There's some blind bitch in it, but I don't know who. I can't remember who she is.
Alison Hannigan.
I don't know. That's how unmemorable she might have been in Buffy for some reason. I'm thinking of like
Willow.
No, it wasn't her. Did Willow have a girlfriend or some blonde?
Faith.
No, because she wasn't good looking. She wasn't attractive. Anyway, there was some blind bitch in the third one, and it was like these couple different people took the place of Whistler. You know what I mean? And then, do you know who else was in it? Jessica Biel. Yeah, her, Ryan Reynolds, and some chick who was blind and was like their microchip person, and tech fucking person.
Mm.
They basically all took the place of Whistler, and it was just crap.
I'm sure I've seen it.
It's
Yeah, I
just not
forgot it.
good, man.
Yeah.
Like they basically bring Dracula back, and they can't even call him Dracula. They call him Drake or Drac or something
Drake
like
would be
that.
better if it was Drake.
Can you imagine? They remade it now and just cast Drake at it as it.
That's what's going to happen. Like, you know,
Man,
like, fucking
I don't even know a
Idiocracy.
Drake song to be able to like drop a lyric.
One came on my.
I couldn't. I see if you played it, so I couldn't tell you.
I
it's
know
Drake.
2 Drake songs, man. Right, and they're the only 2 that I know. Is One Dance and The Motto, right? And The Motto is responsible for that shit YOLO. You know, that you only live once, isn't that it? Right? It's more or less how that fucking got. I'm gonna actually play it. Where's my
No, not.
No,
You can't.
you can't do
I'm
that.
not getting
It's
pulled for
fucking
fucking
it's
Drake.
fucking playing that.
Yeah.
I
Is
don't
it
like.
YOLO?
Do you?
No,
No, you can't.
yeah.
You
I'm
can't
not
do
going
it.
to play it. I'm just going to
Drake, The Motto.
the model.
Yeah. Um, but like somebody like one of those kids in that fucking job, man. Again, I work with all these fucking people are children as well. The 21, 22. Like the one of the oldest people there is 25, apart from me. And I'm older than the fucking owner and the manager. Which makes me feel like yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like but you know, they're talking about shit, and one of them fucking was listening to music as he was cleaning up yesterday, and he's just listening to shite, absolute shite. And
Like
the only
what?
one I couldn't even tell you who they were, man. The only one person that I
Country
rec.
music.
No, it wasn't. It was like whatever
Just pop
bullshit
shit.
that kids listen to. No, because I don't even know what they were singing about. Like some sort of just whiny, bitchy rock music that wasn't good. And then some other song came on, and I don't even know what song it was, but I know it was Drake because I know what his voice sounds like. But that's the only reason why I knew it was Drake.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever heard him speak. Or
Remember he was along with Conor McGregor and the
oh
Mayweather.
yeah. Actually, that's when I would have heard him speak. I would have heard him speak.
It's Canadian.
Yeah, I just imagine a lot. It's about love and that freedom,
I don't, man.
democracy.
I just don't understand like the whole thing behind him. I'm sure he's talented enough, but like he's ridiculously like popular, and people think of him as like a good rapper, but
It means there's hope for us all. Though.
yeah, because he's not. Yeah, like in my opinion, he's not that great. He's like you listen to the likes of fucking Method Man or fucking RZA or somebody from the Wu Tang just spitting fucking normal rhymes.
Yeah.
It's like, and then you listen to Drake rapping, and it's just like it's fucking it's apples and oranges, man. It's rap music, but there's
But they're 50-year-old men. Though.
yeah, and they still could do it better than him. He's like, and sure he got a bunch of shit for like not even writing a bunch of his own raps as well. He ghost written
He's got no time.
because he was too busy like banging Rihanna on the side, and then fucking her getting the shit beat out of her because of it, or some shit like that. Apparently, that's why your man hammered the fuck out of her, because she was cheating on him left, right, and center, and like he found
Drake
out
beat
about
the
it.
fuck out of.
No, fucking Chris Brown
beat the fuck out of because she's fucking
Rihanna,
Drake.
and Drake, and maybe numerous other people.
Does Drake not have a 12-year-old Japanese girlfriend or something?
No, but he's got a weird relationship with that chick from Stranger Things, where they're like best mates, which isn't creepy in the
What is
slightest.
she?
Like fucking 14, or she's underage by a large, by a big number.
What age is Drake? Drake's 30.
He's probably
Drake 30.
He's a bit younger than us, like, but he's not.
Have a guess.
I'm gonna say he's 31.
They might have changed his age just to keep him fresh.
Well, he was in that Degrassi fucking TV show. That's how he got famous.
I said 30. I imagine maybe 29, 30.
You think that's a lie?
Well, no, it could quite
Who
well.
knows?
It's hard to tell.
Doesn't actually say what age he is, but it gives the year he's born. So,
So what year was he?
1986.
He's 4 years younger than
Oh,
us.
3 years
33.
after.
He's 32.
32.
32. 31,
Close
32.
enough.
I said 33.
Yeah.
Was
Like
it
20,
19?
sorry, 33. Yeah.
The year of our Lord.
So you probably think he was.
No, that's
No,
that's
no,
right
I
enough.
could quite well be it. But
Yeah.
he's 33. She's 15. Yeah, he's like, he was 18. He was born.
Is she 15?
I don't know.
I don't
She's
know.
young.
What's she called?
Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown. She's not called Bobby Brown.
I do know Bobby Brown songs. I can't think of one. This is
She
how
looks
we
fucking
do
young.
No,
it.
that's Montel Jordan.
God damn.
Yeah.
Bobby Brown's. Don't be cruel. I would never be that cruel to you. Don't be
I used to
cruel.
have some Bobby Brown.
Of course you did.
It's like on those now this is what you call music. Whatever
compilations?
editions. Yeah.
They must
Nicky
be.
Boom Boom Damn. I told you
Oh,
about that.
Snow
yeah.
Informer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a banger, man. It was a fucking banger of a tune.
I would be. I actually
Yeah.
heard.
Fucking 15.
It's like the Banga Boys music. Like we like to party. But do you know what? It actually brought me back to that time as being a kid, thinking like that was actually funny. Like, yeah, I can remember those nights being out and hearing the Banga Boys go that music,
Dude, I
and
s-
being in one of those clubs or bars at the time.
I seen the Banger Boys in the Clubland in
Oh,
Kirstown, and it was literally just the four of them idiots on one of those like shitty stages in the Clubland in Cookstown with some fucking idiot pretending to play a keyboard behind them and them just dancing, fucking singing about the Banger Bus.
I went to see someone. Yeah, I went to see someone at Clubland. I can't remember who it is.
I seen the Banger Boys, DJ Quicksilver. Do you remember Bellissima?
Yes.
Fuck me, man. That I seen, and who else? I seen somebody else. Sash. Do you remember Sash?
Encore on four.
Him.
That's
I
right.
seen those three
What was the second
amazing.
one? It was after Encore.
Oh god, was it Mysterious Times or
No.
Tech Guy? Look up Sash's singles from the
Second. It was like
Sash exclamation point. It's very
French.
important.
French electro pop DJ.
DJ.
Genius.
You're talking
Um,
2000.
maybe he's Daft Punk.
No fucking way, because Daft Punk were out, man. Because I like they were Sash, and then it was a million miles away from Daft Punk.
He's a German DJ.
Oh, he's German?
There you
Fuck,
go.
how wrong am I?
Production team. I don't know. This could be something else.
This
Sash
is not,
exclamation point.
this is not
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, okay. This is not about marching.
So what am I trying to think about?
His singles.
His second single was like. Annoying.
Well, not necessarily a second one, just because you're thinking it was a second one mightn't
In
necessarily.
Corey, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck is called?
That's the first
Yeah.
one.
Antelik. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Let me see.
Adeland.
Let me read it. Adelante.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think. Yeah, I think that's
a
it.
place
Yeah.
in Spain.
And then I love how look at the third hit.
What's the third hit? The techno mix.
The Sash.
Oh, this. Oh,
Look at
okay.
the thumbnail.
I think Atlante.
Adelante's a place in Spain.
Play that shit and I'll add it. I need to hear it.
Which one?
The Adelante. The second one.
I'm gonna add it.
Just-
I need to connect to your Wi-Fi.
I just. Is that an ad? No? Talking shit at the start of it?
Gotta kick in.
Dude, do you know what that is? That's fucking McElroy's on a fucking Friday night in Omatown. Fucking. I remember this now.
This is actually not the song I was thinking.
I was
People
thinking
have
it's
got
not.
it.
It's not.
Hey?
I'm thinking of someone else.
Was there a chick singing in it?
No. Yeah.
Keep looking up his fucking. Keep looking up his singles, Gavin.
Oh, I see. If you start going down that hole of all those songs, like it'll bring up a world of shit.
Oh man,
A world of shit.
do you know who is the biggest fan of that shit? Mickey Coyle and Tess. They still go and see people like that. It was like, who was it? They would keep going to Tiesto.
Tiesto.
They pay serious money to go and see Tiesto. Like
Is
whenever
he just DJing or does he play?
he just hits play on his fucking playlist, man. You know, he pretends to do stuff. I think
could
like
get
they
away
all
with it.
fucking do. Like I couldn't tell you when one of those songs stops and when the other one begins. But the best of it is they go and see him and just get drunk. Like they don't even do drugs. Just
Yeah.
like they're the small minority in that equation, man. It's like I honestly, if I was going to see something like that, I don't say it lightly, but I'd need to take a lot of drugs like to enjoy myself. Like I couldn't get drunk and think that that was cool. I'd just get drunk and pissed
Yeah.
off and be like, "This is shite." But if
Maybe my idea of hell.
it would be,
Yeah.
it's a little circle of Dante's Inferno for me. Like
I'm trying to think of any big hardcore raves. I've not been to hardcore raves at all.
I
I've been to
seen,
raves
this is like
like clubs.
yeah, I've been to raves and clubs. Like and like the closest I've ever been to one of those would have been at like the Chemical Brothers or else like the Prodigy. No, man, at left field. Because I used to remember, I called you after that concert. I was wired to the fucking moon, man. Like so much so that I had to call Paul after the gig to tell him how good it was. It was like my mate, my old housemate went to that gig as well, but he wasn't there with me. And like me and Dara and a couple other people went there, man, and we were in the front row. And like within about 15 minutes, I had my shirt off. Like the front row, I was rolling hard as fuck, man. And like Liam seen me before the gig and then seen me after the gig and just burst out laughing because like when he seen me at the start, I was normal, fucking just ready to go to the concert, and then by the end of it, I was just no shirt on, sweat pissing off me, the fucking eyes like two fucking saucers. And then went outside the street and was fucking loving life so much that I had to call him and tell him how great it was at this gig.
Where was that?
Dude, that's like that's whenever I moved back from the States because you weren't fucking moved long to Scotland at that point because I had come back from the States and I'd moved back in with you and Screwball and Ian and then that other random guy that I never laid eyes on once that took over my old room.
Yeah,
I
what a
never
weirdo.
seen that fucker once in that like month or two that I lived in that house again.
I can't even remember that dude's name.
Neither can I.
Weird that you live with some people and you just wipe
But that
out
was
your-
but that room laid you were okay with that because you could literally live downstairs and never go upstairs apart from to cook fucking
Yeah.
food. Like you didn't need there was the bathroom was down there, you know, your bedroom was down there, so it was like you know, the only thing you went up there to do was to literally use the kitchen because of the weird layout in that house. But after that I moved in with Dara and Connor Morrison and like we all worked in Clements. So we all went. Well, me and Dara went to that gig, and yeah, it was fun times. It was like Dara, like Dara came into the fucking living room one day, and me and Connor are sitting there from Stone playing the Xbox, and he's like, "Here, do either you see that tab of acid that I was keeping in the fridge?" And we're like, looking at each other and we're like, no, dude, but if you're going to keep acid in the fridge, could you tell us? Because it might have fallen on something. You know, we could have eaten it by mistake because it could have been sitting there and fell on a piece of food. So then he goes and he tears the fridge apart and he finds it. But we're like, fucking let us know, man, if you're going to keep acid in the fridge. Like, you know.
Are you supposed to keep it in the fridge?
I don't know. I just never taken acid before in my life, man. And I would have been very, very scared if I was sitting there eating something in that fridge. The next thing, the fucking walls start to melt. Or I'm
Shit, man. You just fucking eat a slice of toast.
That's what I
just
mean.
Start fucking
tripping my balls off. I think I'd finally lost my mind. Like, if you knew it was coming to be one thing, but if you ate acid and didn't, if you got dosed and you didn't know, I genuinely think I was fucking losing my shit.
Apparently,
be funny for other people, not for me.
Yeah. Apparently, in England, there's like some, the people with the metal detectors go around like some society, and they had a function, and some woman baked like a weed cake and didn't tell anyone, and they all ate it and they all started tripping and getting sick. I had to phone a load of ambulances and stuff to come. These people thought they were dying.
That's
like
amazing.
thought, yeah, just like from eating. But who knows how strong? It could have been strong. Like,
sure.
yeah.
I
Was she doing it for bad?
told you that story about
like
I can't. I shouldn't say it because it's about my family.
Oh yeah, don't.
Yeah.
No,
I'll not say that.
It's too early.
Yeah.
Save that
I'll
one
say that down the line. I'll
Save
tell
that
that funny story later on down the line. I'll tell you about it later on, Gavin.
That one.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's like, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, went to see Left Field. That was probably the closest apart from the Chemical Brothers. And dude, the Chemical Brothers too. I was like, me and Tony and Aoife and Aoife's mates. Fuck, I don't even know that bitch's name. I can't remember.
Mossy.
Wasn't Mossy. We went up to Port Rush and seen the Chemical Brothers at the beach, and it was great. Like, it really was. I was hanging out of my fucking arse.
What's the name of that club that was in Port Rush?
Kelly's.
Kelly's.
But it wasn't even at Kelly's. It was literally just they built a stage on the beach. It was fucking crazy because they had all these big screens up, and there was just all these crazy clowns and weird visuals and stuff on it.
People like fucking drowning in the water.
People were dropping like flies at that gig, and I'm not joking. That you were literally every few minutes you would see the paramedics walking over and fucking like resuscitating people. It was crazy. And then of course, you know, it was me and Tony and Aoife and one of Aoife's mates, so it's not like we weren't partying as well. But then we couldn't get a taxi. Yeah, the gig was in like Port Rush or Port Stewart, and where we were staying was in the opposite one. So we got a taxi there, and at that time of the night there was like 2,000 people trying to get taxis, and we literally could not pay someone to bring us home. We ended up having to walk that at like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, all still fucking.
How far is that?
Flying high, like a couple miles.
It's not that bad.
You try that in the dark on the fucking motor, like not the motorway, but you know, a busy enough road.
I just wouldn't have been there to start with.
Well, I like to get myself into situations, Paul. You know.
What are you saying?
Pushing and all, just slight, but just making sure it's centered.
Okay.
Center, you're all about nice, clean center lines. Center. You remember that in jiu-jitsu?
What is that?
Centers. Plays into a big part. Keeping your shit on center. Your elbows go off your center line. Your head goes off your center line. All gonna mess you up.
I'm going to jiu-jitsu this week with Ryan.
Ryan's gonna show Gavin how to strangle people very efficiently.
Gavin's just gonna posture out of everything you try and show him.
Well, maybe I might sweep him and send him on his arse.
I don't know.
Maybe.
A couple of weeks, Mike. Give me a couple of weeks.
I'll give you a couple of weeks, man. I'll train you up. learn you'll not know the difference in yourself after a couple weeks.
Will you go when you get your shorts, Paul?
If I can find shorts.
Friends are quite short. That's the one thing that's holding Paul back. He's like, don't have shorts, don't know where to get them.
That's what he said.
That's it. He's just like, it's just one of those things.
That's it.
It's like, just can't do it. Have to go to the short shop.
I don't know when the last time I was in a sports shop. Like to buy anything.
Dude, the pair of shorts that I bought, I had to buy them off Amazon because I was in the same boat. I was thinking, I was like, where would you go to buy a pair of shorts? And then I was like, I don't try on clothes, man.
That's weird then.
I don't try on any clothes.
It's the same as that because I want in and out of there.
Yeah, I fucking hate buying any clothes. I do not like. The only thing that I've tried on recently is suit for your wedding, and I think the last thing I tried on before that was another suit that I bought for Connor Morrison's wedding, and it was purely because my sister made me try it on. I was just gonna buy it off the rack. I fucking hate trying on clothes. Like, it's just one of those things. It just does my head in. I buy
when the shop attendants or whatever they're called come to you like and
minions
like, you know,
try and help me.
Advice or whatever.
Fuck off. I don't need help. If I need help, I'll ask for
I'll
it.
walk out. Like,
yeah.
If they
you just turn and run.
just,
yeah.
No,
you look like a shoplifter turning and running.
I'm giving off a vibe of don't come near me. Like.
Why?
I'm just it's the same way he was putting it there. Like, it's
whenever they say
be there in the first place.
Whenever they say, "Can I help you?" you say, "Yes, please leave me."
Paul,
that's it.
I love how you're the voice of reason. You're more close to a meltdown in these social situations than me or Gavin is.
Never.
You just hide it better. The rage is absolutely palatable in my face. I know because
I wrote that letter of
told
complaint about the O2 store in Castlecourt. Yeah, I'll call them out. O2 store in Castlecourt, and I did happen to notice in the job ads that they're looking for staff.
Coincidence?
I'm not saying anything like,
hey.
but I got credit towards my phone.
Good, fair play, man.
Yeah. It's worth it. Just write a letter of complaint.
Yeah. Well, it's like this, man. I know what it's like working in those jobs. That's why I don't annoy people unless I need them, right? That's my mentality, for better or for worse, because that's the way I prefer it. Mm-hmm. You know, that's not the way everybody likes it. Whenever you come into my place of business, I speak to you whenever you fucking speak to me. I'm not going to stand there and be like, hey, how's it going? Fucking, welcome to fucking blah, blah, blah. It's not in me. It's not going to happen. Right? Whenever you say, can I have X thing? I'll be like, yeah, here you go. It's in front of you. Do you want me to sit here? Do you want me to chat to you? Do you want, I'll say please, I'll say thank you, whatever it is. Like, there's the other night I was ready to fucking batter this guy because his fucking bill came to £92, man, right? His bar bill, no food, no nothing, right? His fucking bar bill came to £92. Each of the drinks that he bought cost £6 a piece. So you do the math on that. Right? I had to make each one of those fucking drinks was a cocktail, and I had to make every single one of them. Now you'd order 2 or 3 of the same cocktail, then he'd order 2 or 3 of a different cocktail, and then he'd come back and order 1 of the fucking first one that he ordered. So instead of saying at the fucking start, can I have 5 of this, he would say, can I have 3 of these, 2 of these, and then whenever I'd make them, he'd be like, right, can I have 3 of these, and I was ready to fucking kill him, because it made my life difficult. And he's not the only person at the bar, man. I have a load of other people there. I'm the only person there, clearly by myself, and this guy's just sitting there. So I eventually said to him, I was like, is there any of these other drinks that are the same? And if they're so, can you just tell me it all together to make my life easier? And little things like that, man. It's like that fucking guy, he's never done that sort of a job before, and just how frustrating that is, and have to sit there and just fucking be like, thank you, cheers, and not only that, didn't leave me a fucking penny as a tip, and his bill came to £92. he handed me £100 and fucking stood there with his fucking hand out. Didn't even give me £1 for making all those drinks for him, and I must have made him like 12 or 13 drinks.
I can remember Flanagan like telling, or yeah, not asking, telling like a Belfast mum to control her kids when they're in the store one day, and she fucking flipped out.
I would say
She's
so.
like, "You asshole, fucking." Just giving off to him completely, like, and he wasn't ready for it. But the kids, in fairness, were running around wrecking the place. But I wasn't going to say shit.
Who is this?
Oh, this
Oh,
guy
this
we
dude.
used to work
Oh,
with.
Yeah, Flanagan.
The Flan Man.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Biggest
Silver,
Star Trek fan I know.
Silver Fox. The biggest lots of things that we know, man. Like, he
Yeah.
loves the most, it like in the best way possible, he loves the most shit things more than anybody else. Like, out of all the geeky comic book stuff that we like, he likes the really niche, like, stupid
Babylon 5.
Yeah, like
Um,
fucking what else? Like the really obscure, like not even obscure, but just the stuff that he tells you how much he loves it.
Stingray.
Yeah, he doesn't even like
Mm.
Thunderbirds. He likes
Like
Stingray.
Stingray,
Yeah.
I like Stingray more than I like
I
Thunderbirds.
hate those puppet things.
Joe 90 was also awesome. Remember Joe 90?
No.
I remember of it, but like I don't sort of remember it.
Joe 90 was awesome.
Was
I
that
don't know
like,
if there's any
I'm
other
thinking,
ones.
no, I'm thinking of Royal Rovers.
Roy Rovers.
That was in the friggin' newspaper, Gavin. Wasn't even a cartoon.
Was there Roy?
Was there
I
a
think there was a
cartoon?
cartoon.
Was
yeah.
there a cartoon
I
of
think
it?
It's
I
like
think
a
there was.
Polaroid
Yeah.
thing or something.
Maybe. Here.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Chuck Norris cartoon?
Chuck Norris cartoon. I don't think so. No.
You missed out on your
Yeah.
childhood. Chuck Norris had a cartoon and a set of toys.
What was the cartoon?
Chuck Norris and Ninja Force. Like,
Chuck Norris. What did he do? Just
basically, it was like G.I. Joe's.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like Chuck Norris and a small G.I. Joe team versus like a small, like, Cobra bad guy team that just had like this purple ninja that
Mhm.
used to fight. It was fucking amazing.
No
Watch.
guns.
What?
No guns.
I think they did have weapons. It was the 80s, man, so they were allowed guns and stuff as long as they didn't, like, murk each other. Like,
Do you want your phone?
Yeah, I suppose. Sorry.
I'm
I
just
said no
saying,
phone.
as long as they didn't murk each other, like you look in G.I. Joe, man, nobody ever gets shot. Like me and you would be sitting here having a gunfight, and G.I. Joe going like this, pew 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 pew, and we wouldn't hit each other. The only time anybody ever got shot was the gun got shot out of their hand, or the plane or the vehicle they were in got shot and exploded.
What's
I
that?
don't leave a lighter in the hall. leave a lighter in the hall. Right, we'll go for a few more minutes and then that.
in the window.
It's episode 2.
This is episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is
This
yeah.
The promises made have not come to fruition.
Well, we all have busy lives. Some of us more than others. Tech guy technically has the most responsibilities out of us because you've reproduced.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I have, and if I have no responsibilities towards it. You are married and like have all that stuff to do as well.
Have
I
lodgers, yeah.
Yeah, you have
Have
lodgers.
lodgers, yeah.
I just have to show up to a job I hate. That's just the only thing I have to do, and then try and sleep.
What a way to put it.
That's
Get the kick out in your sister's house while she's away.
It's true, man. Can't wait to get into this fucking place.
That's it,
In a
David.
few weeks'
If
time.
you watch this back, David, Ryan's just lying on your couch, just owning it.
Bollock naked, man.
Just owning
Just fucking doing what you would do, David, if you were there by yourself all the time. Just living the life you would live.
it. Going to Creighton's once every 2 days. Do I have enough cigarettes?
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much it, man. I went there this morning whenever I got up because I woke up this morning and no matter how tired I was fucking starving because I slept all day yesterday before I went to work. And then I realized I hadn't eaten anything but that leftover pack of pancakes I bought whenever you were
Oh,
up there.
fuck yeah.
So I had 2 pancakes and a pack of peanuts for like over 24 hours. And then just a shitload of caffeine. And I woke up this morning and I was so hungry I could have eaten my arm. I just queued up in Creighton's for fucking chicken goujons and chips.
Which one's better? The one to the left or the one to the right?
Depends. The one to the left.
Just yes or no. Like, what are the
I don't
other?
know, man. Like you put me on the spot here, and I can't really. I haven't been running a fucking compare and contrast.
There's only one the 24 hour though. The one to the left.
The one to the left's the 24-hour
It's
one.
24 hour.
Yeah,
You
the
can
one-
walk in.
No, you have to go to the hatch. Nah, that's bullshit.
Do you have a 24 hour?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like a fucking BP or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Which- where
Can
do
you
you
walk
live?
into it? Or?
No, I mean it'll take you 15 minutes probably to walk.
No, I don't
No, I
mean
mean
walk
like
to
there's
it,
not like
but
there's not like the little hatch window where they lock the shop and
I
you
never
can-
go to it. There could be. I don't know. I never use it.
See that fucking
I go to
Tesco's.
Tesco 24-hour Tesco.
Alright, go to the that's what I mean, man. That Tesco's that's 24 hours up on thingy.
Yeah. You'd love it.
Yeah, because I used to go up there with one of those psychos that I used to go out with all the time because God forbid we do anything normal apart from go grocery shopping at like 11:30 at night.
going at like 2 a.m. though.
Yeah,
I
No
like,
idea.
yeah,
It's
I like
fantastic,
that.
but-
I did that in Edinburgh a few times. Go at like 2 a.m. Just it doesn't matter. There's fuck all there every time we went. It's another shithole. As the fucking fort in Edinburgh is shithole. You never have the same things you want. Do you ever go to the shop and you find something like, oh, right, I'll take a chance on this,
Yeah.
and you get home and it's awesome,
mm-hmm.
and you go back to that same shop for the next 4 to 5 years,
And
and
they
they
never-
never ever have the same thing again.
Happens all the time.
Dude, those Duffins that we
Yeah.
got in Tesco's that
They're
time,
gone.
I got them twice.
They're
Once
gone.
whenever you were there, and once before that, and never again.
The
How about-
dolphins.
Donut in the shape of a muffin. They were fucking amazing. Like Paul,
Yeah.
like he came back. He fucking came over to see
I don't
me.
like donuts.
Man, he came over to see me and he went back to Scotland and told me how good they were. That's how much of an impact they made on him.
I got them once, I think, in Scotland. I never got them again.
You don't like donuts. Fuck you. Get out of my sight. I'm not talking about those jam filled things. You don't like normal donuts with a hole in the middle of them and like frosting on them.
Because they're cooked. They're deep flat fried. Like.
You say that like it's a
Bread?
bad thing.
It's like, would you get a piece of bread and put it in deep flat fried?
I have eaten that on numerous occasions, Gavin.
Yeah.
There was a thing in Connecticut whenever we used to grow up at the fairs, they would just literally call fried bread. They take a big flat piece of bread, like a pita, boom,
Why
bung
not?
that shit, man, and then they'd either cover it in powdered sugar or cinnamon, or some dirty bastards would get the fried bread and then put tomato sauce on it. So it's basically like a shitty pizza.
Why not just dip your cup into the grease like and just drink the
Why would I want to
grease?
drink
Why
hot
not?
grease when I could drink it,
Yeah.
when I could eat delicious food that's been cooked in that
There's a
grease?
difference between drinking grease and eating a donut.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah, there's a world of difference.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
Well, it's
Yeah.
like this: do you eat chips?
yes, I do.
And then you eat the same principle, man.
You
The
eat oven chips.
Don't absorb the grease.
What are you talking about? Are you fucking
You-
insane? Do you not know how frying food works? If you cook something in a fryer, it
It doesn't get inside like the
yeah, it does.
potato inside's fluffy.
Just Gavin, stop talking. All right.
What do you think's inside a donut?
Not gonna debate
What do you think's
this.
inside a donut?
It's just fucking. It's a mad idea to deep fat fried bread to me. Like I don't know.
It
Been-
works though.
It's been going on since human beings have made bread and they
What
discovered
about
frying
pretzel?
things.
Do you eat a pretzel?
No, not in the pretzels either, really.
Yeah, and see, you're trying to maintain that you don't eat fried foods, which is complete bullshit because I've lived with you for years